Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maine. I know it has been a while, and unfortunately tonight I don't have a book review. So something a little bit different that I'm going to do tonight, which you can probably tell from the description or however you found this, but I'm going to read poetry. And some caveats about that is I do this a certain way that's not probably preferable in any sort of academic sense of getting to critique the work or even maybe understand the work at every conceivable level. Mine is a little different in the way that I like to communicate with literature. And in that regard, what I do, I've been reading this. What About This? The Collected Poems of Frank Stanford. This is a beautiful hardcover Copper Canyon Press that is just a tremendous collection. 900 pages of poetry, or well, I'm exaggerating of course, but 700 pages of poetry. Incredible stuff. So what I've been doing as I'm going through it this time, this is my second time going through it, is I just got into it last year, which is crazy. And so many of my friends, like whenever I talk about him on Twitter or something like that, like friends of mine or even people that I like don't interact with that much, are always like really interested into his work. So I'm such a late bloomer with this one, like obviously. But God, that's the thing too about literature that's like so amazing, is everything finds you. Like I'm a mystic about literature. I actually believe that everything finds you exactly when you need it, and when you need to be found, and when that work needs to find its place, because I believe that reading is part of the artistic process there. I think that the reader completes the thought. You know, the reader is that other consciousness that makes that thing that you created alone alive, you know, and bursts forth. Well, anyway, what I like to do is I flagged poems. I flagged 3 poems that I liked, and then I only read them. I read them once through this time, and these 3 poems I have not read again. So that means I liked them a lot. I always forget what the thing is. I liked them a lot. I knew I did, tagged it, and then now I'm going to read aloud my second read. My second read. So the rhythms, they are not going to be what the poet intended, because what I try to capture is the consciousness of the poet with the consciousness of the reader in communication, which is a different thing. So if you're not interested in that style, if you're not interested in someone reading poetry, I don't even know if this is the right frame. I don't know. Okay, sorry. Whatever. Then feel free to move on. The acoustics, I don't know if the acoustics are good in here, because it's like a room above the garage, so I don't know how good the acoustics are. It's probably not good. I also don't know what makes something a good acoustics. I could find out, like, you know, but anyway. And hopefully the volume is correct and all that. This first one is from the Singing Knives collection. And I'm going to get the date here. The Singing Knives was 1971. The picture show next door to the stamp store in downtown Memphis. The movie has not begun. Girls from a private school are forming their lines. They have long socks on, tweed skirts, blue waistcoats, berets. The colors of God and their school are sewn in their scarves. My money and my hand are in a machine. The cup does not come down, but the ice and cola do. I make a cup with my hands. They stand there, moving in one direction, like does and clover. The nun tells them to form. Why are they afraid of me? I am holding my hands together like a gloveless hunter, drinking water in the morning or calling up owls in the forest. I am holding my hands together like a hunter in winter, with his hands in the water, washing away the blood. Outside, a man with a lunchbox walks past the marquee. His new stamps fly out of his hands. Orange triangles from San Salvador fly into the traffic. I am holding my hands like the nun. Then fly over Front Street. He is looking up. Other people are looking up. The stamps tremble like the butterflies from the Yazoo Basin stuck to the radiator of my father's car. The girls are in the 7th grade. The backs of their thighs and their foreheads are damp. What are they learning? Ballet? French? The nun is on her toes. Their booties dance in the leotards, rounding out like the moon. They are making a debut. The girls are following the nun into the dark. The movie is beginning. The lid on the machine comes down like a guillotine. Wow, that is a great poem. I can see why I picked that one. It's when you don't write notes or anything like I do, sometimes, you just put the flag down and you go through that second time, but oh yeah, the backs of their thighs and their foreheads are damp. That was my favorite part to read. That was good. Very good. I got really a lot more nervous than I thought I would. Which I don't know what that is about, because usually this is such an enjoyable activity that I do not get nervous. But I did. So I think I'm going to skip the really long one for tonight. And that long one that I had flagged and that I think I might read another night is the Snake Doctors. And the Snake Doctors is also from the Singing Knives. So that one though, I'm going to skip tonight because like I said, I was getting nervous. But if you like this, like I have no clue, because I started doing this, one way and now it's a whole. So anyway, if you don't like this and you want movie reviews, or book reviews, sorry, I'm not ever gonna, sorry. If you want book reviews, then, I'll be back doing that soon and stuff like that. But if you do want to meet, or if you like this, let me know, so that I, for the dopamine hit, of course, but also, so that I do it again. All right, but I am gonna do those other two, so I'll just do three. This next one is called Liaison, and this is from Shade, which is, what year is this collection? 1973, and this is Liaison, after Jacques Prévert. Have you seen her? What in hell was her name? All I remember are the slips of her writing, lost in the books, dirty underwear, lost in the cabin where she drank like nobody's business. So she was somebody's wife, okay. She never wore blue, but you could see her coming like a dead star's light. So I can't lie how long it's been. I'm asking you to give me her whereabouts. So what if she's dead? I can pick up a rose anywhere. I don't care about her children, her men, just tell me. Does she have a room to lie awake in all night? Does she get gin when she needs it? Are there enough bucks to keep her in the kind of clothes she likes? I just want to know if she can go out again in a boat when she wants, like I can. Friend, I can understand if you can't tell me. I know it was you and me, and we were thick as blood when she showed up in the joint that night. Hell, if you want to just forget those 10 years, we know how it is. Death and its family, reunions and salads, its puddings and the children, too old to recognize any more of the hired bands and by the terrific car it drives. The great swan on the front, the mud flaps It's set with black pearls, the phone calls, the volunteers, in the garden, the trunk of the letters, and roses, and hair and books where it says love is a soaked board splitting at the grain, the lanterns lit for living, the silent partners, the dominoes, empty swings and pistols, kept in a velvet box like glass eyes. Don't you remember how she could make you think the moon was a salt lick for her cattle of darkness? Oh, no, here I go again, rolling up that burnt string of sunlight and small talk. Christ, can't we have a little shade for our graves? Listen, are we really fucking the people we love? That was really intense. Okay. Yeah, that was a really tough one. Whew. Thankfully, this last one is very, very short, but God, that was tough. The reunions and their salads, puddings and its children. I got stuck there, really. I was too physically in a place, there was a familiarity with that. And that can, as the reader or as the writer, that can be such a dangerous thing, because it can be too easy on one end of that conversation to fall in love with something purely out of relatability or out of familiarity. And I think that's where certain forms of nostalgia, I think that's where certain forms of sentimentality, and these things are not, nostalgia and sentimentality are wonderful. They're vibrant, amazing feelings, gifts of life. But sometimes you can have those things, but then that piece of art may fade a little bit over time as you pick up other things to relate to familiarize yourself with, and you find that the only thing that had going for it really was that relation. And so I have to be careful with a writer from, the general region that I'm from, and someone who is going to pepper in details that are going to trigger things that are extremely outside of the text, the intended text, except and unless you think, like I do, that in a situation like this, there's enough other textual clues in it giving me a sense that me knowing reunions and salads, the puddings and its children, is me getting into a closer relationship with the author, in the sense that those things may mean something to him as well. And now he's able to use the language of things like a meal or a dish to communicate very specifically to someone from that same place. And so it is it is setting, I guess. Yeah, I'm rambling on. I'm sorry. This might and very well could be the last time I try this, and it could be a total failure. As you know, I just stop it and then keep going. But at 14 minutes, it's pretty damn long. So apologies for my narcissism, and I hope some iota of it was entertaining to you. All right, this one's called Gray. This is also from Shade, very short. Some call me river rat. Oh, no one do I pray for bad times. No gray is just a color to let them know where you come from. Every once in a while, you might have to use a word like Shira Sakura say. You might be able to swim like the quarter moon, lope like a swarm of flies, it will do you no good unless you know how to look at the eyes at the heart of the living. A little lead, a lot of wood. You better know when to run, when to kiss a woman when she says no. Yes, I am, like the raccoons of night, where the bull takes his long walk in the shade and a child does her somersault over the grave of a footprint. Clear as a whistle with singed hair, a bullet for a song.